Let's talk about what was said inside that room yesterday, because it's important to sort out what exactly happened to pierce through these lies. Top officials responsible for securing the Capitol on the day of January 6 testified before Congress yesterday. They blamed poor intelligence for the massive security failure, a communications breakdown, and they blamed one another. We heard from the head of the D.C. Metro Police and 3 others who since have resigned, the former House and Senate sergeants at arms and the head of the Capitol Police at the time. Here is the U.S. Capitol Police Captain Carnicia Mendoza and former Chief of Capitol Police Stephen Sund explaining what they faced that day.
At some point, my right arm got wedged between rioters and the railing along the wall. A CDU sergeant pulled my right arm free, and had he not, I'm certain it would have been broken. I received chemical burns to my face that still have not healed to this day. I witnessed officers being knocked to the ground and hit with various objects that were thrown by rioters. Of the multitude of events I've worked in my nearly 19-year career in the department, this was by far the worst of the worst.
We plan for an increased level of violence at the Capitol and that some participants may be armed. What we got was a military-style coordinated assault. I witnessed insurgents beating police officers with fists, pipes, sticks, bats, metal barricades, and flagpoles. These criminals came prepared for war. These people came specifically with equipment. You're bringing climbing gear to a demonstration. You're bringing explosives. You're bringing chemical spray. They were planning on our agency not being at what they call full strength. And then also the fact that we were dealing with 2 pipe bombs that were specifically, set right off the edge of our perimeter to, what I suspect, draw resources away. I think there was a significant coordination with this attack.
It was first reported by the Washington Post that an FBI office in Virginia warned a day before the attack that extremists were traveling to Washington to war, and that the intel was shared with Capitol Police. But the security officials who testified yesterday said they didn't see it.
I actually, just in the last 24 hours, was informed by the department that they actually had received that report. It was received by what we call one of our sworn members that's assigned to the Joint Terrorism Task Force, which is a task force with the FBI. They received it the evening of the 5th, reviewed it, and then forwarded it over to an official at the intelligence division over at U.S. Capitol Police Headquarters.
And so you hadn't seen it yourself?
No, ma'am.
Mr. Stenger, did you get the report?
No.
Okay. Mr. Irving.
I did not.
Then there is the issue of what took the National Guard so long to get on the scene. Acting Chief of D.C. Police Robert Contee said the first Guard members didn't show up until 4.5 hours after his initial request.
Chief Sund was pleading for the deployment of the National Guard. And in response to that, there was not an immediate yes. The National Guard is responding. Yes, the National Guard is on the way. The response was more asking about the plan, what was the plan for the National Guard? The response was more focused on, in addition to the plan, the optics, how this looks with boots on the ground on the Capitol. And in my response to that was simply, I was just stunned that, I have officers that were out there literally fighting for their lives. And, we're kind of going through, what seemed like an exercise to really check the boxes, and there was not an immediate response.
Let me be clear. Optics, as portrayed in the media, played no role whatsoever in my decisions about security. And any suggestion to the contrary is false. Safety was always paramount when making security plans for January 6th. We did discuss whether the intelligence warranted having troops at the Capitol. That was the issue. And the collective judgment at that time was no. The intelligence did not warrant that.
There's so much to go through there, Mika, but I just want to go back to the staggering number.
4.5 hours.
4.5 hours. We interviewed Colin Powell, who said he was looking at his TV, said, where's the National Guard? Where are the reinforcements? When we were watching, we just kept asking the same thing. Where's the National Guard? Where are the reinforcements? And I think most Americans, at least Americans who love this country and didn't want to see the People's House torn to shreds by terrorists and seditionists, we're asking the same thing. And we need answers.
And
we
these
really
people
yesterday
got all the way in.
We really
and so close to the people that they were talking about killing. Chanting.
We really didn't get answers. I mean, and again, whether we're talking about what Ron Johnson was lying about yesterday and what he's continued to lie about, or what we're talking about, what the National Guard and what leaders saw on TV that day, we've all heard the chants. We saw the nooses. We've since seen the chants hang Mike Pence. We knew Mike Pence's life was in danger. The president knew Mike Pence's life was in danger. That's why he sent out a tweet attacking Mike Pence when he knew that his family, his children, and the Vice President of the United States was sitting inside the Capitol. And yet, despite this chaos that we saw, that America saw helplessly for hours, it was 4.5 hours before the National Guard came in, before order was restored. Hey, thanks so much for watching our YouTube channel. You can follow up on today's top stories and breaking news, or catch up on your favorite MSNBC shows all in one place. Download the NBC News app today.